my name is Barbara and this is Susan. I'm Susan's physical therapist today, and she is doing the Astrand cycle test to estimate her VO2 max. Susan has been warming up for about 3 minutes at 25 watts because that is as low as this Kettler bike will go. And I'm going to go ahead and bump her up. She's been pedaling at about 50 RPMs, and I'm going to go ahead and bump her up to 100 watts. And I want her to maintain the RPMs at 50. Oops, went a little too high there. Okay, so she's going to go for about 2 minutes at 100 watts and maintaining that speed of 50 RPMs. And before Susan came in, we took her vitals, and her resting vitals, her heart rate was 70 beats per minute, her blood pressure was 112/76, and her RPE was 7. And RPE stands for perceived exertion rate. And so I just want Susan to estimate her overall muscle fatigue and taking into consideration her breathing rate as well. And just try not to over or underestimate this rate. We just want it as accurate as possible. And also before we started the test, we determined that Susan is at a low risk stratification for cardiovascular disease, and that she is a physically fit and conditioned female. So that's why we chose to put her at 100 watts for the workload. Also, we determined her seat height by having her stand next to the seat and measuring where her greater trochanter was. And so you've been going for about 2 minutes there, Susan. So I'm going to go ahead and take your heart rate, blood pressure, and RPE. You can just relax for a moment. Have you put this right here for me? Susan, looking at this scale, what would your perceived exertion rate be?
Oh, I'd definitely be at a 10.
Okay, great. So you are within your submax heart rate range. Your heart rate was 120, and your submax heart rate range is 110 to about 157. So you're well within that range, so I'm going to have you keep pedaling at 100 watts for another 4 minutes, okay? And then at minute 5, I'm going to check your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your RPE again. And then I'm going to check you again at minute 6 for your heart rate and your RPE. And then what I'm looking for is a steady state between your heart rate. So I want those 2 heart rate measurements to be within 5 beats per minute, okay? So you can just keep going there. You're doing a great job right at 50 RPMs. Okay, so how is this feeling, Susan?
It's good. It's a good workout.
Have you ever done one of these tests before?
No.
Are you excited to see the results of your VO2 max?
Yeah.
Awesome. Are you feeling okay?
Yeah.
So I did forget to mention that your blood pressure for that first check was 126/78. So that's very good. And then let's go ahead and take your next measurement. this scale, what would you say your perceived exertion rate is?
Definitely a 13.
Okay, great. So your heart rate was 142, and your blood pressure was 156/80. So that's very good. And then in just a few more minutes, just about another minute or less even, we're gonna go ahead and take your heart rate and your RPE one more time. Okay, let's go ahead and take your heart rate. Okay, great job, and relax. And what do you think your perceived exertion rate would be?
Oh, I've gone
On
up
a
to a
scale.
14.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So your heart rate was a 146, and that is within 5 beats per minute. So we can actually go ahead and have you cool down for about 2 to 3 minutes. And so you're just going to cool down at 25 watts for about 3 minutes or so. And then at the end, I'm going to check your heart rate, your blood pressure, and your perceived exertion rate again.
Okay.
Okay, do you have any questions? Okay, wonderful. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.